Corey Close, junior Lauren Betts, who had 7 blocks, which ties UCLA's single game record. And today's 17-0 start is the best start to a season for UCLA. Coach, when you're ready for an opening statement.
Well, I don't want to be a wet blanket on that, but I congratulate Lauren. I think she covered for a lot of things. I didn't think we played well enough collectively to win, but Lauren really covering for us, especially on the defensive end and being an anchor of who we could go inside, I thought covered for actually how poorly we played. So credit to her in that. And obviously her blocks is a big deal, but I like even more when she switches out on those guards and they think they can take her to the rack and she never gets beat. And that's a huge piece for us. So congratulations, Lauren. And I liked that we had, I think we had 27 assists and only 8 turnovers. I think that's a positive. And we had our passion play goals, but that's about it. Credit to Penn State. I thought they were the aggressors. I thought we were the aggressor in the second quarter, and that was it. The rest of the game, they were the aggressors. Their players played to the kind of shots that they wanted to get. I thought they did a really good job. I've known their head coach since I coached in Florida. She's an excellent basketball mind, and she's got her kids playing really hard and with spirit, and I give them a lot of credit. Wasn't our best game, but credit to Penn State in that.
Coach, right here. Before getting into the specifics of the game, having gone through this last week, the fires, the postponed games, change of venue, how does it feel to finally get back to the court with a sense of 2 hours of normalcy?
Well, and I do think that is sort of the tough balance for me as a coach is that this has been a really hard week. And first of all, a great humility and thanks to our incredible first responders and all of the people that have been fighting for us to have a chance to rebuild our city, and so and it has really affected our players. There's been some real anxiousness and difficulty, and we get to play. And there has to be this sense of gratitude. We get to continue to compete and master our craft. And almost everyone here has experienced the pandemic where we were told we couldn't play. And UCLA was the last school to get back to training and playing. So I think there has to be off the court, there has to be a deep sense of empathy, gratitude, humility of what we're getting to do. And on the court, the challenge just doesn't change. And it's how bad do they want to choose the hard right? Because there isn't any other shortcut. And so I do want to say thank you to all the people, our administration, the people at Long Beach State that allowed us to have this experience down here. I was really excited to play today because so many people busted it for us to have this opportunity to compete. So I'm really thankful for that. So it is a really weird balance right now. I don't think our players would want us to lower the standard in the time that we have in between the lines. And we're really grateful that we have first responders that have been sacrificing, and we have an administration that's been working their tails off for us to be able to continue to play. So I don't know if that answered your question, but that's the dichotomy that we're trying to wrestle with.
This is a question for all three of you. Actually, I have 2 questions, but the first one, do you think that not playing for a week, change of venue, a postponed game, that there was a little bit of rust? Especially as you said, there's just been weirdness the last week in Los Angeles. Do you think that affected the way that the team played?
You guys think?
No, I just think we didn't show up the way we needed to today. I thought, like Coach Corey said, I'm not trying to crap all over my team. I just think that in practice, I thought preparing for this game we could have done a little better, and I thought it just showed a little bit today. But I just know how capable we are as a team, and I just know what we're trying to do. And I thought that we didn't show up the way we wanted, but we're just capable of so many things, and we just have to make sure we always hold ourselves to the highest standard at all times. So.
Second question, I believe it was 4 minutes left. Penn State pulled to within 7, and you immediately called a timeout. What did you say to the team at that point?
Well, we just talked about that it's not about our offense, it's about our defense, and that this was good enough, and who was going to step up and make sure we got stops. I think there had to be a personal, they had to decide out there. And, obviously we needed to stop the run and regroup a little bit. We went zone on a couple possessions, and I thought that helped us get a couple of stops that allowed us to get down and get Lauren touches before they were able to set their double team. But that was about yes, stopping the run, but yes, like, what is this worth to you? And just a personal challenge of how much does it mean, and this is really good for us, and what are you going to do with this opportunity? And and let's go to work.
Angela and Lauren, I know neutral thinking has been a big emphasis for you guys this season. So between like the location change, you had to redo the tip off. Penn State was super, maybe unexpectedly gritty tonight. How did tonight kind of challenge your neutral thinking, and how did you overcome that?
I think each game that we've had this season, there's always been something that, has been challenging our neutral thinking. And today, I think it was like the first quarter, Tasha was saying, like, do your reset routine, like get back to neutral. So, like they both said, there's a lot of things to work on. I think you have to take the good with the bad, but knowing our standard of this team and where we want to go, we have to improve a lot. And like Lauren said, it started this week. I personally think it was an off week with everything that was going on. It was just like really weird for me. But again, we've had games where we've had a week off. I think this is just a different circumstance, but at the same time, it shouldn't have really affected us the way it did. But yeah, there's always room for improvement.
Coach, well, actually for the whole team, you were trailing after the first time that you've trailed in the first quarter since Louisville, first game of the season. What was sort of just the adjustments you were looking to make going forward the rest of the game?
Stops. As soon as we started getting stops, and we just were trading baskets, right? We weren't having a huge problem scoring, but we were just trading baskets. And then the second quarter, we really got after it. And an interesting stat is that our strength coach told us at halftime that first quarter was the lowest load of the year, the intensity load that's measured by the data that we wear and measures our change of direction and explosive movements. And I think that's very reflective, that we just weren't the aggressors. We weren't playing as hard, and we weren't sitting in our stance, and we weren't fighting and being physical with them. And as soon as we came out and started getting stops and then getting clean outlets, we were able to play in transition. We started turning them over, and then we were able to get in playing the kind of style that we want to play. But you got to earn that style by playing great defense, and that was the simple adjustment that needed to be made.
Coach, one positive, only 8 turnovers to Penn State's 15, and also 20 points off of turnovers compared to Penn State's 2. What kind of progress do you see there from the beginning of the season when you guys had, close to the 20s?
Yeah, I think we've gotten a ton better with that. I think we've really settled into how we can get Lauren touches, how to play off of that. I actually think Angela offensively made some really good reads after when they were sending double teams. I thought her decisions on her drives were really good tonight. And so, I think that we really have improved with our sort of identity of how we needed to play. And I thought the first quarter we were settling for jump shots and open threes. And then once we started reacting out of paint touches, and not just paint touches off double teams and passes to Lauren, but attacking off the bounce, then we started to hit a few of those, and that was the difference. But, I do think we've really improved with knowing who we are offensively and what our roles are. And I think that offensive, we continue to make really good progress on the offensive end of the floor, our efficiency and what we're doing. I think the only thing that I would like to see us do more of, and the big 4 factors that you look at in offensive efficiency, is get ourselves to the free throw line more. I don't think we're there at the rate that I'd like us to be. That being said, that isn't my biggest concern. I think we've come a long way with that, and I think we need to get back to defense being our anchor and being much more responsible for how we execute our scouting reports.
Coach, Lauren's 10th double-double tonight, but also the 7 blocks, and then we're sitting here and hearing her take accountability of what needs to be better. I feel like we're kind of running out of words to describe Lauren Betts from your perspective.
Well, Lauren is a generational player, and I'm like talking to her as if she's not here, but I think the reality is that it's not only her individual stats, which you just mentioned, it's how she makes everybody better. How people don't want to go in there because they don't want to have to deal with her. She pretty much mitigates their go-to post player, is not even a factor tonight, and that's been very consistent throughout our game so far. And the way that she's growing in her leadership and her voice, and her work ethic. Just even today, she had a breakthrough in her pregame ritual and how she prepares. And so I just think there's so many areas, and it all goes back to growth, and it goes back to leadership. But there really isn't much that Lauren can't do. And, I think that people in Southern California need to enjoy this. And our team, everybody else plays better when Lauren's out there.
And then secondly, from me, congratulations on the program record 17-0 start. But I have to imagine that just with the tragedy across Southern California this week, it means a little bit more. You're never short on motivation or a motivational message. What does it mean for you to play California strong or UCLA strong like we saw pregame?
Yeah. We had a family ride down on the bus with us that, they're from the Palisades area that's lost everything. I had an email from a family that just, they've been displaced, they lost everything, and their biggest thing is if their kids could meet Kiki in London tonight. I wrote on the board before the game is shine, I wrote a few words, but shine. And that shine is not for yourself. That shine is to bring joy to the people around you. And how humbling that we can use basketball and we can be a part of being an encouragement to a very devastated place. One of my friends, Kelsey Trainer, wrote an article for USA Today that described her and her partner losing everything, and what that was like in community and people and feelings. And so, I think it's an either or, right? It's not an either or; it's a both and. We need to remember that this is bigger than basketball. This is what's going on in our city. Being UCLA strong means we want to fight for our city. We want to shine for our city. We want to bring joy for our city. We want to serve our city. And we want to compete in such a way that shows our commitment to mastering our craft, that we may bring joy and inspire others. And what a privilege to do that.
Two really quick things, Coach. What did happen on tip-off? Why did you have to repeat that? And then I saw London had a little bandage on, I think it was her left thumb. Just wanted to follow up and make sure that wasn't anything.
It's
like,
nothing
serious.
major, nothing major at all. A wardrobe problem, and no, she's fine. And then the tip was that they actually ended up getting the tip, but the clock didn't start. So they just stopped it because the clock didn't start, and so they had possession and went from there. Simple as that.
Another question for all three of you. Today it came out that the NCAA is going to pay women's teams to participate in the NCAA tournament. What are your thoughts on that? And, finally, we're getting more and more equality, but what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, Corey told us today about this, which is such exciting news for us and just for women's basketball in general. And we're extremely grateful, and this is just like the first step of greatness for us. But yeah, I think the best way to put it is that we're extremely grateful for everyone that has been a part of this journey and what they're doing for us. And it's not just for us, it's going to impact everyone for the greater good.
I had a really amazing privilege during that time that I was a part. I was actually the only Division I coach that met with the Kaplan group. That when all of that came to light when we were in the bubble about the gender equity and the realization that we had some things we had to address, and through that Kaplan review, that was where that came out of that if you want to have gender equity in our championship system in Division I basketball, there had to be unit distribution for women as well as for men. And so I am really grateful, and I actually had a couple of ADs text me from the room when the vote happened today, and I got chills. I know how much work has gone into that. And the thing is that when the men are rewarded financially for their performance, and the women are sort of just along for the ride, and I don't think this is intentional, but the reality of it is presidents and ADs, who are they incentivized to get behind financially? The men. And I think we have grown our game that when you have something like this, it reinforces that we are an asset worth investing in, not a product, not a box you need to check or something that you need to just say, well, we got our Title IX in. And I don't think anyone does that intentionally. Hear me on that. But I do think if we're going to continue to push our sport forward, our sport needs to be treated as the asset and the good investment that it actually is. And this is a great first step to that end.
Actually running part of my capstone on that.
Well, there you go.
Happy to pick your
I
brain.
can't wait.
This question for anybody. I don't have another question, but just to piggyback off what you were just saying just now, how does it feel to be a part of this? Like you said, it's the first step to be a part of history and seeing change.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait as we go a chance to perform. I can't wait for the Big Ten and then UCLA to get that first check and to know that women were the contributing factors in that. We want to be a part of the solutions. This is not about, when we talk about gender equity, so many people think, well, we want to take a different slice of the pie. I want to take more away from the men. That's not it. We want to be a part of growing the pie so that everybody wins. And I think that gets misinterpreted a lot. And so I'm so excited to be a part of growing our financial pie because our product is really good, the way we invest back in our community is really good, and the character of these women is excellent and superb. And so I am proud and I can't wait for that to translate financially as being an asset for UCLA.
Anything else?
I'm obviously a little passionate about that.
Coach, so you held Penn to just 13 3-point attempts tonight, and they're a team that usually averages around 18 attempts per game. Just sort of how does your defense do that? How do they contribute to sort of shutting down?
Well, it's really good when you have someone that if by chance you were to chase them off the 3-point line and they're going to the rack, they have to deal with this one right here, so I think that's a big piece. But I do think that's another growth thing for us. That was something we struggled with earlier in the year, is we were allowing not only way too many 3-point attempts, but the percentages being too high. And that has been, since we started Big Ten play, that has actually been turned from a weakness to a strength for us. But that has to be consistent all the time. I think we always say no war zone shots, which is the 8-foot box right around the basket, and no threes. And we got one of the two tonight.
Angela and Lauren, obviously neither one of you are originally from Southern California or from Los Angeles, but what have you learned about this community in your time here? And then with everything that's tragically happened over the past week and being the #1 team in the country, I won't say pressure, I think Coach would probably like if I said privilege a little bit more, but just the unique positions that you both are in.
I mean, it's devastating, obviously. Just checking the news, I try to stay away from it as much as I can because Coach Corey, is just like, it's not amazing to look at, but I think this, having the opportunity to just play basketball and you see all the kids in the crowd, and I'm sure they're not in the safest areas, but to come here and watch us play and just to be excited about something, I just think that's so beautiful, and to just create some type of spark in any way that we can. I just think that's amazing. But like Coach Corey said, I really just think it's a privilege that we get to do this, and just continuing to have the utmost support. I think that's just really important. But yeah.
Just to piggyback off what she said, I think for us it's just like the families and the kids, especially like if they get a chance to come and watch us, and just to get away from everything. Again, my heart goes out to the families and especially to the firefighters right now who are fighting this battle. It's I don't even know how to describe it. We're so thankful for them, and we see them and we understand what they're going through. So yeah.
And just one other thing, we love being from LA, and a lot of our players chose to come here because of all that LA has to offer. Obviously the location, the entertainment, the community, but also the diverse experiences and learning opportunities that have taken place through being a part of this incredible community. And we always say that you can make a big place smaller with community. You can't make a small place bigger. And that's what I'm so proud of these young women, is that they have taken a big place in LA and made it smaller because they have invested deeply in community and genuine relationships. And we want to be a part of now continuing to invest in this time of need and helping rebuild in any way we can.
Anything else?
Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. I know there's a lot of things pulling on all of your time, and so we really appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.